The UK Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick is currently putting the UK government on a lot of pressure with some of his proposed measures on how the government can manage net migration in the United Kingdom. Now, it's a public knowledge that Robert Jenrick actually worked with the previous Home Secretary, and some of the things they were able to propose to the government, some of them were actually implemented, one of which is putting a stop to students being able to bring in their dependents into the United Kingdom. Now, so with the recent release of the number of net migration into the UK by the ONS, he has further decided to put a lot of pressure and release some proposed measures on how the government can deal with net migration and put the Britain in full control of immigration into the United Kingdom. So we're going to be discussing all of those proposed measures, what are my thoughts around it, and what to expect. And the sad reality is the fact that almost all the visa categories in the UK will be affected if some of these measures are actually passed into law. So if you're currently in the UK on a pre-settlement visa, which encapsulates student visa, work visa, global talent visa, and what have you, then you sure do want to watch this video till the end so you get informed on what is proposed in relation to the visa category you belong to at the moment. So if this is something you'd like to know, don't go anywhere, keep watching to the end. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, please hit the subscribe button to join the amazing Go family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. In response to the recent released number of net migration into the UK, now listen to what the Immigration Minister has to say about it.
The most recent published data from the Office of National Statistics estimated that net migration in the year to June 2023 was at 672,000. This places untold pressure on housing supply, public services, and makes successful integration virtually impossible. As the Prime Minister and Home Secretary have repeatedly made clear, this is far too high, and the government remains committed to reducing levels of legal migration in line with the manifesto commitment every single Conservative MP stood on in 2019 and the express wish of the British public, as they have articulated at every single general election in the last 30 years. But, Mr. Speaker, it's crystal clear that we need to reduce the numbers significantly by bringing forward further measures to control and to reduce the number of people coming here, and separately to stop the abuse and exploitation of our visa system by companies and individuals.
As we've heard from the Immigration Minister, who has officially mentioned in the House of Parliament that some measures will be put into place to help reduce significantly the number of net migration in the UK. An emphasis on significantly. And the truth is, one of the things you also mentioned is the fact that they're planning to tackle the abuse of the visa system by organizations and individuals. So we're going to be talking through all of the different measures that have been put in place. Now, it's another news that most of the people coming to the UK that contributed to this increasing net migration are actually the non-EU nationals. Now, it's shown that study captures about 39% of the main reasons why non-EU people come into the UK, followed by work, which is at about 33%, and humanitarian reasons, which is about 9%. And ONS has officially also released the data that the top 5 non-EU nationalities include India, Nigeria, Chinese, Pakistan, and Ukrainians. So now these are the top people who have actually been moving into the UK through the different visa categories, especially the student visa. Now, so the Immigration Minister has also mentioned that now some of these measures that must be put into place would help significantly reduce net migration, and this is one of the desires of most of the MPs and also the British citizens. Now, one of the measures, or one of the proposed measure by the Immigration Minister, is that the minimum annual salary required to apply for a skilled worker visa should be £35,000. Now, this is my thought around this. Now, it's really almost impossible to get an entry-level role in the UK, for as high as £30,000. Now, most of the entry level roles are usually between £27 to £30. So if the minimum salary requirement is increased to £35,000, it means that many international students in the UK might not be able to get a work visa upon completion of their program. Because trust me, how many, and for the fact that many of these international students don't have UK work experience, it means that it makes it almost impossible. Now, quote me, not impossible, but almost impossible to get an experienced role. So many international students are actually trying to get either graduate, entry roles, or graduate level roles, or entry level roles, which in most cases is usually less than £40,000. So if the immigration minister is proposing that the minimum requirement should be £35,000, it means that the number of international students going back to their home country unable to get a work visa would definitely increase, and do so in turn, reduce the number of net migration. So my thought is, how realistic is this measure? Because it might actually make it impossible for people to want to move into the UK to spend over £15,000 to study, only for them not to be able to get not able to get work visa upon completion of the program. Now, another measure made proposed by the immigration minister is to put a clamp and to reduce the number of people coming into the UK on the health and care visa. Now, as realistic as this sounds, it's also mentioned that the Department of Health in the UK would definitely fight against this, and this is because many of the jobs in the UK, especially within the health and care sector, still require loads of international workers to help manage and mitigate the shortage occupation in that particular field. So putting a clamp or reducing or stopping people from coming to the UK on health and care visa is going to in turn affect the health care sector here in the UK. Now, in response to this particular thought, the immigration the immigration minister also mentioned that now the plan now is to bring back people who have been out of job in the UK into the job market. So, and according to them, I think this is a 2 billion overhaul of the benefit system. So most of the people who are currently jobless, they're planning to train them and get them into the job market in order to reduce their dependence on foreign workers to help manage the shortage occupations in the United Kingdom. Now, these are one of the many measures, and also in the plan to tackle the abuse of the visa system, especially those who are on the health and care visa. Now, the plan now is that for those people who have been on the health and care visa, now when people ask how are they going to know if you don't work with your employer, the truth is it's quite a very easy and straightforward way for them to confirm if you have not been working with your employer. All they need to do is to check out how much you've been paying on tax and your national insurance, and that's it. So because the truth is, if people are coming to the UK and they're not working, they're not giving back to the economy based on their job role with their current employer, there's really no reason for the government to want to keep them in the country. So if you're currently not working with the employer, it's high time, because if you're going to cut or tackle net migration, they might actually start from those people on the health and care visa who are not currently working with their employer. So if you're in this category, I beg you in the name of God, try as much as possible to get a job role with another organization that can offer you some job, especially if you're looking at getting into NHS. NHS is one of the organizations that would definitely, even if you don't get to see a lot of work to do, you still get paid anyway, and your taxes will be remitted officially to the HMRC. So guys, please try as much as possible to ensure that you are meeting with you are in line with the conditions of your visa. And these are some of the things they're going to put into measure to help reduce net migration. Working more than 20 hours, they can use that as a reason for you not to be able to apply for another visa category when your current visa expires. So yeah, share your thoughts with me what you think about the recent changes and the plans of the UK government to reduce net migration in the United Kingdom. Please share your thoughts in the comment section, and if you're coming across the channel for the first time, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you guys. So this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.